Greetings, I am, as always, Dellog Blastspark. Today we have something a bit unusual for the channel, a reaction video, which is, not normal for the channel. First time we've ever done this. But anyways, there's a few things to get to before we get into it. So, we've been playing Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail on the channel lately, and I was recommended to do a reaction to this video, which is a video on the lore of the previous game, Honkai Impact 3rd. Now, what I do know about the previous game is that the games are spiritual successors. The newer game, Star Rail, is a spiritual successor to Impact 3rd, which means like we didn't need to play through the previous game and things like that. I also know there's a character, a singular character that is in both games, I believe. I don't know much about that. And then, I should let you know, before we get into this, that the best way for you to experience this is not through watching me watch this. You're going to want to watch this yourself beforehand, because I will be pausing it, and I may even talk over it at a time or something. So I do recommend you watch it beforehand. And now, also, please do make sure you go down and hit subscribe and like, and when you're watching their video, it's the least we can do. Throw them a like and a subscribe for the video they've made. I'm sure it will be fantastic. Now, without further ado, let's get to this.
If you never played Honkai Impact 3rd before, you might be very confused as to why people lose their minds over this plain-looking grandpa that is seemingly obsessed with making anime and going on space adventures with a bunch of kids.
It's never actually really crossed my mind to be confused about it, to be perfectly honest. It hasn't seemed like something to worry about. There's so many characters in the game, but maybe some people do worry themselves about it. Back to it.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
It's okay though, without knowing his backstory, well, it comes out as a pretty strange guy. I even saw people saying that, and I quote, "He's ugly and I don't understand why would anyone want to play as him." And to that, I'll have to borrow a quote from his...
Okay, I have to say, my perspective here. I haven't actually finished the main quest line of Star Rail, so maybe it's skewed, but so far what I have played of it, he has been pretty cool in it. But maybe I'm weird that way, thinking he was cool. But anyways, I don't know.
A certain individual known as Jesus. "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they are doing," or saying in this case. So, let me get my glasses and let Grandpa Homolabs tell you youngsters a story. A story about a hero who saved Earth countless times. A man that endured insurmountable obstacles and managed to rise to the challenge every time.
I'm guessing,
shouting in the face of adversity,
so,
"I am wealth of humanity and I stand against you, Dark Queen, as a warrior guardian of the human."
So it sounds to me like he was the protagonist of the other games. Or at least, maybe I'm wrong here, but just at this point, that's what it sounds like.
rails.
He was the protagonist?
Okay, to be fair, his lines are a bit corny. But even so, you can't help but fangirl over this man whenever he appears. It is no surprise that Hoyoverse chose him to be the one character from Honkai Impact 3 to come over to Star Rail. We even have a meme in the Honkai community that Welt is just Dawei as a self-insert in the story. Anyway, here is everything you need to know about Welt Yang before you embark on your trailblazing journey with him.
Anti-entropy.
Vartanen, aka Welt Yang, is a character with a very long history.
Wait, what was that? That's his name?
Joachim Nokian Vartanen, aka Welt Yang, is a character with a very long history. But before learning anything about his chadliness, we must learn about the man whose name he inherited, Welt Joyce. Throughout the history of human civilization...
Seems complicated so far, but I'm sure we're just getting what do you call them? Just the highlights, just the main points.
Major Honkai incidents that lead to the deaths of thousands are referred to as Honkai eruptions. These are usually accompanied by the awakening of Hershers, powerful beings that can ban physical laws. In 1952, the first Honkai eruption took place in Berlin and took the lives of...
So that's interesting. I honestly thought the word Honkai was just a what do you call it, a branding word. I didn't know it had any in-story meaning. You know, kind of like how I can't think of a single time Genshin, the word Genshin, has shown up in Genshin Impact. Maybe I'm wrong and it has shown up, but I can't think of it.
300,000 people. Amidst the ruins of the disaster, a young man that didn't have any memories of his past was wandering around. Due to a special property of the Core of Reason, the minds of the 300,000 deceased were absorbed into his Hersher core and allowed the man to resist the influence of the Honkai, making it possible for him to become the first Hersher that fights for humanity. He was eventually found by a secret organization that combats the Honkai, known as Schicksal. After years of experimentation, he was transferred to...
Seems like this game has... I mean, we've got... Seems like it has quite a bit of story. It seems like it, yeah.
Where he met Mophead.
Just something that struck me. It seems like this guy is like blazing through the story, and it's still like taking a while. Not that that's a bad thing. It just struck me that, you know, no, in fact, that's a good thing. I'm looking forward to the story of Star Rail and how they'll continue it, is what I'm meaning.
And Lobster, Einstein and Tesla for the first time. He also got to know a scientist by the name of Elias Nokian Vartanen. There, the man was treated with kindness and respect, and Einstein even chose a name for him, Welt, which is German for world, and Joyce, after the Irish author James Joyce. In the time spent there, Welt catches
I'm glad I'm not going to be quizzed on these names.
A shy boy by the name of Joachim. Alas, fate would soon turn its ugly gaze upon them. They discovered that Schicksal was hiding many secrets, and that Otto Apocalypse, the current overseer of the organization and a professional clown, had more important plans than fighting the Honkai. They also discovered
wait, let me see that again.
Plans than fighting.
This reminds me of something. But anyways...
The Honkai. They also discovered a weapon left by a previous civilization from 50,000...
I'm sure most of you know what thing it reminds me of. Something from an
years ago,
anime.
known as the previous era, that was wiped out by the Honkai. The weapon was called the Star of Eden, and it was made from the Herrscher core of the previous era Herrscher of Earth, who had the power to control gravity and sunk an entire continent under the ocean. From that day onwards, the Star of Eden became the signature weapon of the Herrscher of Reason. As things escalated...
Wait, what's going on there?
Continent
What's going on here?
From that day onward...
Is that wallet wielding that and...
The Star of Eden became the signature...
This looks like Walt, at least. Or at least... I mean, I haven't seen him a ton of times, but that... I think that...
weapon of the
I'm a little confused. I'm sure it'll make sense.
The confrontation between Ado and Welt's group was imminent. Ado killed Elias and took over the body of a Valkyrie named Rihanna, causing a lot of havoc. Joyce, with very little time, managed to take control of his powers and fought back. Ado, who was pushed into a corner, decided to blow up the entire city of New York to make sure that no one who knew his secrets will live.
Sort of losing track of some things here, but it seems very complicated. But I'm sure things will come together. Trying to
use his remaining powers to create a barrier and protect the city from the incoming nukes. He was successful, but the damage he sustained was too much for his body. In his last moments, Joyce entrusted his Herrscher core and name to the young Joachim, who lost...
Okay, yeah. So Joyce has been so far one of the main characters in the story we're being told. And Joachim is the wallet that I know, if I'm getting this right. And he's been less of one of the main characters in the story that this video is telling me. Maybe. It's a lot. It's a lot here.
Lost both his father and his hero on that day.
And I'm guessing we're going to see more of him now.
After those events, the Schicksal American branch renamed itself into Anti-Entropy, and Joachim, who now goes by the name Welt Yang, became the new sovereign of the organization.
Wow. The new sovereign.
In the year 2000, the second eruption gave birth to the Herrscher of the Void in Siberia. The Herrscher was a girl named Sirin, who was...
Now, one thing I'm unclear on is if, like, all of these events here all take place in the game, or if some amount of this... I mean, I don't really need to know it, but it's just occurred to me. I'm not entirely sure, like, if some amount of this takes place before the start of the timeline of the game, or if all of this takes place within the game. Anyways, just a thought.
As a test subject in Schicksal's Babylon Tower. Anti-Entropy was forced to take action, and Welt engaged the Herrscher in a direct fight. He used all the might of human civilization to create a fleet of tanks, ships, aircrafts, and other weapons to stop Sirin.
This guy, I have to say, he called some of Walt's lines cheesy earlier, but so far Walt's seeming pretty cool. This bit here with all of the might of human civilization with tanks and stuff. That seems pretty awesome. That seems pretty awesome.
That the Herrscher of Reason has the power to construct literally anything as long as the user has an understanding of that object's composition. Welt is almost victorious, but Ado disguised himself and stopped Welt from dealing the final blow
that guy looks cool.
Needed the Herrscher's powers for his goal. Sirin escaped to the moon, where she got blessed with even more power from the will of Honkai and challenged Welt to a final battle on the giant piece of cheese. Welt was like, challenge accepted. But knowing that he cannot win, he planned to blow up his own Herrscher core and take out both himself and Sirin.
And the Herrscher cores, the Hirschir cores are the things they're using for like most of their powers, right? And he's blowing that up to take you
blow up
out.
his own Herrscher core and take out both himself and Sirin at the same time. In the end, he traveled to the moon together with Siegfried, one of Schicksal's knights, and Kiana Kaslana's father. Welt's plan ultimately failed, and Sirin took his core before he can detonate it.
Oh,
Welt died,
that seems
but
very
in a
bad.
true Sigma male
Welt died. 6 minutes. This almost 7 minutes into a 14-minute video about the character. He died.
fashion, he already had a plan in place even for this turn of
Okay, that's better.
events. Since the Herrscher of Reason's core can house human minds, he transferred his consciousness into the core right before his physical body died. Then, he waited for an opportunity to strike and used his powers to construct a new body for himself.
Okay, a new body. I was thinking, is he just like a mental projection? Just without a body now?
The tides of the battle were turned against the Herrscher of the Void, and humanity emerged victorious.
Seems pretty cool. He's seeming pretty cool so far, but unlike some people apparently, I didn't really need my opinion changed on that. He already seemed cooler to me. But you know...
Welt took up the role of a substitute teacher at a university in America. One of his students was Murata Himeko, a young girl interested in studying the stars and the galaxy. During that time, Himeko traveled to New Mexico to investigate some UFO sightings, and Welt accompanied her to keep her away from the truth, since those alleged UFO sightings were actually tests that anti-entropy was doing in the area.
So wait, is he still sovereign? They said he was sovereign or something of the anti-entropy organization, right? Is he still that, even as he's a substitute teacher at a university? Did they say in America? He's juggling jobs here.
Murata Ryusuke was a Schicksal researcher who ran away from Ado and sought help from anti-entropy. He discovered the existence of a small and fluffy alien species called the Sugars, and even befriended one of them named Peppermint.
And
the Sugars were living on Earth from another alien civilization called the Sky People. The Sky People traveled to different worlds to harvest Honkai energy, causing destruction in the process. In an attempt to combat one of Sky People's vanguard stones that was approaching Earth, Welt and Ryusuke boarded a rocket and flew into space.
So the Sky People don't seem... I don't like them as much as the Shigurs. I just have to say, the Shigurs are better.
Ryusuke suddenly started monologuing about humanity's potential and revealed his true intention. He wanted to steal Welt's Herrscher powers to fulfill his plan and free humanity from this planet.
Classic evil monologue.
Peppermint and took over his powers. With some help from the Sugars, Welt defeated Ryusuke and put an end to his madness. The Sugars, although grateful to Welt for saving them, decided to leave this world since their existence has been discovered. Himeko, who was kept in the dark, gave up on her studies and joined Schicksal as a Valkyrie to investigate what really happened to her father. Unlike Himeko, you don't have to join a secret military organization to learn more about the Honkai. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel and give this video...
As I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, to this guy's channel. Fantastic video so far. And I'm sure it will continue to be so.
Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you. Not much happens during this time. Welt is hiding and poses as a teacher at Saint Freya, a Valkyrie school built by Teresa Apocalypse in the Far East. In the meantime,
he's bouncing from teacher job to teacher job, is he? But is he still maintaining the leadership of anti-entropy? Oh, did he lose that when he died?
Another anti-entropy agent, tries to take advantage of Welt's absence and take over the organization using a clone of Welt Joyce. In the end, Welt reveals his identity and easily defeats the clone created by...
Okay, I think this actually immediately explained my explained an answer to my question, even though I didn't really expect an answer, funny enough. I just sometimes I just ask questions when I have them, even if, yeah.
Cocolia, proving that no fake can ever match him.
Okay, Honkai Impact, dude. So is this finally like to the game and all that was like prequel this is backstory stuff?
Welt and Einstein made multiple experiments involving the Sea of Quanta, which is this strange dimension that exists in between different worlds. One day, they come into contact with a powerful entity known as the Serpent, who wanted to escape into reality. To prevent that, Welt sealed himself inside the Sea of Quanta to make sure that the Serpent will not escape. After the reawakening of the Hersher of the Void, Cocolia and her forces retreated to the Deep End, an underwater city left behind by the people of the previous era. There, they were attacked by Shixel.
So this is taking place outside of the thing that Welt sealed himself in? If I'm... Let me see this bit again. Because this actually seems like it's maybe the main story. I don't know. Let me see this bit again really quick.
Serpent who wanted to escape into
the Serpent wanted to escape, yes.
That, Welt sealed himself inside the Sea of Quanta to make sure that the Serpent will not escape. After the
Welt sealed himself into the Sea of Quanta. So I'm guessing it's the Serpent and the Welt sealed away there. And then this stuff is going on outside of it?
Of the Hersher of the Void, Cocolia and her forces retreated to the Deep End, an underwater city left...
I'm not certain I'm getting that right, but I might be.
Left behind by the people of the previous era. There, they were attacked by Shixel forces, and left without options, Cocolia asked Teresa, Einstein and Tesla for help. After a big turn of events, Bronya ends up jumping into the Sea of Quanta and meets Joachim, a kid version of Welt who has prepared a set of trials for her. After Bronya cleared them, Joachim deemed her as a worthy successor to the Hersher of Reason's powers and passed the core to her. They eventually meet the Serpent, who turned out to be Kevin Kaslana, one of the heroes of the previous era who fought the Honkai 50,000 years ago. Bronya was quickly defeated, but Welt, who stored his consciousness inside the core again, recreates his body and saves her. In the
that seems to be a specialty of his. Cheating death with the cores.
And they were unable to stop the Serpent's escape, but managed to safely return to reality. Welt wants to let Bronya take over the Core of Reason and offers to teach her how to use the Hersher of Reason's powers properly.
Have they mentioned how many of these Hershers there are? I know they've mentioned multiple Hershers, right? Is there a specific number? Might not get an answer.
After the Honkai was sealed on the moon, Welt opened up an animation studio where he worked on multiple projects, the most notable one being Arahato, a mecha...
Wait. An animation studio?
After the Honkai was sealed on the moon, Welt opened up an animation studio...
Yeah, okay, I heard right. He has quite the diverse talents. Quite the number of different jobs he's had.
Where he worked on multiple projects, the most notable one being Arahato, a mecha anime...
I mean, good for him, you know. Wallet's talents right there.
That he started...
That sounded a little sarcastic, it wasn't. You know, good for the character.
A few decades ago to get some funding for anti-entropy. One day, Shixel sent a squad formed by Raiden May, Carol Peppers, and Mr. Paycheck to San Frontier. Their mission...
Mr. Paycheck? Wait a
second. Raiden May, Carol Peppers, and Mr. Paycheck to San Fontaine. Their
Okay,
mission was to find
just wanted to see those characters before it
Welt Yang,
swiped
who
away.
disappeared in the city a few days prior. Saint Fontaine was facing an unprecedented crisis,
Because the
and instead
characters
of
looked
humans,
awesome.
the city was full of strange mechanical creatures that turned out to be the Sky People, who were brought
Yeah, I
to
thought
Earth
they were
by
the
Void
Sky People.
Archives, a sentient divine key from the previous era to get rid of the Honkai on the moon. A sentient
That image right here looks really cool to me. It looks really ominous. I mean, I don't know why I'm commenting on this, but I just like how it looks. That's me for you.
divine key
Weird.
from the previous era to get rid of the Honkai on the moon. I know, it sounds really complicated, but don't be
What? What? It sounds complicated. I don't think so. There's just more characters than I can count. And more. But it's not complicated. No, it's complicated. I'm surprised he's only mentioning it this far into the video.
beat your head around it too much. After they've dealt with the threat of the Sky People, Welt and Void Archives infiltrated one of the Sky People's spaceships. There, they found out that the Sky People are targeting Himeko, but not Himeko from Honkai Impact that Welt knew. Instead, it's another Himeko from a different world, Honkai
Another
Star
Himeko.
Rail
And
Himeko.
you know, I was thinking, I should have mentioned it. Because now it's like, you didn't say it then. But I was thinking earlier when it's like, this is Himeko. There. Right there, I'm like, you know, I know a Himeko with red hair that I've seen recently. You know, that reminds me of a Himeko with red hair. I should have said it then. But yeah.
Instead, it's another Himeko from a different world, Honkai Star Rail Himeko.
Okay, wait, what is this about the Himeko?
Welt and Void Archives infiltrated one of the Sky People's spaceships. There, they found out that the Sky People are targeting Himeko.
Okay, the Sky People are targeting Himeko from Star Rail.
But not Himeko from Honkai Impact that Welt knew.
Okay.
Instead, it's another Himeko from a different world, Honkai Star Rail Himeko. Being the hero that he is, Welt wanted
Do they travel between worlds?
to save her, but first
I'm guessing, is this like Cruella Universe territory, or is it multiverse territory? You know, a bit different.
somebody
Anyways.
needed to save him from the Sky People's ship. Luckily, the Sugars were nearby.
The Sugars! Those are my favorites. I like those. They're so cute and fluffy.
Didn't forget Welt's kindness, so they saved and brought both him and Void Archives back to Earth. From there, we don't really know how Welt made it to Himeko and the Astral Express. We only have this dialogue from Himeko.
I don't know if he's going to... Is he
in
going
which
to...
she says that she found Welt and his friend
1 second. I'm going to read this. Many years ago, Pam Pam and I were tasked by Huta to go to the abandoned and ruined world of... Oh wait, this isn't the full dialogue. Never mind.
Himeko, in which she says that she found Welt
I haven't read the dialogue of this before,
with
so...
most likely Void Archives since they refer to him as a he, while visiting a world called Salsoto in a mission from Herta to look for a material called Candace Glass. Most likely, after returning to Earth,
so there might be more to this in the Star Rail, I don't know.
to travel to Himeko's world, and since then he's been stuck on the Astral Express searching for a way back home. His spirit and
he's looking to leave? He's not staying with us?
Full vigor haven't changed, and now he enjoys a new set of adventures through the galaxy while guiding a new generation of youngsters on their journey. I mean, it's not like he has a wife and a child waiting for him back home. Oh wait, I guess you could say that he really went to buy some milk. I mean, it's not like he has a wife and...
So I'm just going to take it as that was sarcasm. Here, I'm not shooting because there were a lot of details to this story, but I'm taking that as sarcasm.
I guess you could say that he really went to buy some milk.
So, a fantastic video. As before, make sure you liked it and watched it. I can't tell you now to make sure you watched it beforehand, but I did tell you at the start. So, hopefully you did listen to me. Fascinating video. And... wow. Can't wait to see more of him in Star Rail. And I probably will see more of him because I haven't gotten through the currently released I haven't gotten through the currently released amount of the story. And, you know, I haven't actually seen this scene yet, so I know he's going to show up in at least one scene I haven't gotten to. So this is going to be fun, getting further into Star Rail. If you have any themes, any videos or games you want me to react to or play or any of that, let me know in the comments. If you want to see me play Star Rail, you can watch it right here on this channel that you are currently watching this on. Until next time, please do try and have a blast.